And just let everybody know we got a guest in the house, Mykisha Jordan McKay. She is here standing by. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk my way on down there like I normally do because let me share the screen with everybody so they can see. Yeah, she's sitting all by herself out there. So we're going to go join her in a few minutes. So I just want to let everybody know that we are here. And let me do a couple other things right here. And there we go. Sounding good to me. So we're going to step on down there and we're going to speak with this young lady. Was that an echo going on? Did you hear an echo?
No, I didn't hear echo.
All right, you sounding good over there. So that I just want to get a voice check on you. That's what I did.
That's what you. Oh, yeah. That's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. All right, I'm gonna make my way down here, and y'all know the routine. I got this walk. I walk past Henry, William, and Harriet. They sit there all the time playing the organ. One of these days, I'll put the camera on there so y'all can see what's going on.
When I walked in here, I literally thought they were real for a second. I did. I'm not even gonna lie.
Good morning, young lady.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Nice for you to stop by the studio and share with us. This is a financial guru right here. The reason why I say that, because not too many people in the financial business have certificates and license to tell you how to keep your money. But she's here mainly what I thought was talk about young people getting started off out there, because they get out there and they start off and they want to buy everything. Nobody want to save for anything.
Right.
They're in debt until they 40. They start off at 30, maybe older or younger. Well, at least know they're in debt to get a new house.
Yes,
all right, that's understandable.
Exactly.
But a little sidebar from that, when I was a single parent, every day I came home from work, I would throw my change to a jar. Then whatever I did that day, I throw it into the jar because I want to see how much change I generated in a month. And so at the end of the month, I have the kids guess how much change is in there. Whatever they guess right, we do whatever they want to do.
Nice. Okay.
All right. This is a jar about this big around and about this tall. No, I didn't fill it up all the way. I got like halfway. One of them said $15. I said, you ain't gonna make it out in the real world. The other one said 16. Didn't you just hear me tell your brother you weren't gonna make it? And my daughter said 22. I said, you still won't make it out there. I said, let's go to the bank. Let's turn in, see how much it is.
Okay.
And if any one of y'all hit it right on the money, you do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Now, first I said, now what you gonna do with $22 for 4 of us? That won't buy 4 Happy Meals.
No, not at all.
So when it was said and done, it was $123.53.
Wow.
So
that shocked you, didn't it?
Yeah, it shocked me. So what I'm trying to get at is, you throw your change in a jar every month, go put it in the bank because you missed it. You don't need it anyway.
Yep.
So if you go ahead and do that, imagine that every month for 12 months. Isn't that like almost $1,500, something like that?
Yeah.
And times that by 30.
Wow.
You do that, you got
a nice piece of change.
Yeah. So, but I just want to get that sidebar to you. That's why I do the kids all the time to get them, and they got pretty good.
Really good. You got to start them early.
So one of my kids are in mortgage.
Okay.
In the bank. I know the guy didn't like math, but he's doing more. I don't know what to say about that. And my daughter's in the corporate world with HEB. My other son is in the medical field. And that's ironic. They're all doing good.
Very good.
They're doing their thing, you know, and I'm proud of them that they're financially stable.
Very good. That is a blessing.
Yeah. So enough about that. I had to throw the real world in there. Let everybody know.
Right.
I was a single parent. I did all this being a single parent. But imagine you got 2 parents together and teaching the kids the responsibility.
Yes.
We were talking the other day. I was talking with somebody. They said, what happened to the good old times in school? And we started talking. And I said, I remember in school, they showed us how to do a resume, how to do an application. And here's the best part, how to balance your checkbook.
So really, they were showing you guys that? 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't learn any of that in school.
And that was, and nowadays they don't even do it.
No, and they stopped that a while. So,
Yeah.
not to tell my age, but obviously I'm a tad bit younger than you.
No,
So
a lot
tad
bit.
bit, right?
But go on and tell us about youngsters on what do you find their biggest mistake? Let's say 25 years old, they get married, they're renting an apartment now, they were saving up to get a house. Take it from there and let me know what mistakes they're making.
I would definitely say the mistakes that one mistake for sure would be not planning for the future, right? And living in the now, which is okay. I'm not taking away from living in the now because we should, right? But also know that what is your 10, 20, 30-year self going to look like? Think about that before you go and make, especially high financial decisions, right? Also, I'd say one mistake that they also make is not speaking with, say, a financial professional, especially when they get their first job, right? It's okay to speak with someone that can help you with balancing your books and putting a budget together. And if you don't know, ask, right? So a lot of people don't even know to do that, right? Because like you said, they were teaching your generation that in high school, college.
High school.
That ended a very long time ago. Because I would even say for myself, when I got out of high school and went to college, I knew nothing about that and got in a world of trouble with debt in my 20s. You get to college, on campus, there's all of these booths for different credit cards. Hey, sign up for this credit card, get this t-shirt, sign up for this credit card, get this hat. And I signed up for every last one of them. And to be completely transparent, literally I had over 10 or 15 credit cards in my 20s, still in college. My mother was footing the bill for my college. I had 50% scholarship and she was footing the bill for the rest. I got to my second year in college, she called me and she said, baby girl, I can no longer do this. Your credit card bills are astronomical. I can't pay them and your tuition. You're going to have to withdraw. And that's exactly what I had to do.
Wow.
So that was an eye opener for me, for sure. That was an eye opener for me. I had to come back home, and another full transparent moment. I had to file bankruptcy in mid-20s because of all of that debt that I consumed while in college. And it's lack of knowledge. I had no idea.
And the credit card people know what they're doing because they can't wait for college students to come in and probably not you, but most of them went on and blew it on partying.
I did some partying and I was a shopper. I'm a heavy shopper and I still am, but to an extent, right? I like nice clothes. It was a materialistic thing back then.
Right.
And it was a lot of partying because I had no children. I wasn't married. So it was just me. Right. But I wasn't thinking necessarily about what my future holds.
Right.
Right. And that's a big mistake, I'd say, that we don't necessarily think, okay, so what do I want for the future? What does this look like for me? What do I need to do today to realize that dream that I have for my future?
You're right about that. And so nowadays, it's, how can I put it? They're not handing out them credit cards like candy anymore.
I would hope not. I don't know. Hopefully they're not.
Well, from what I gather, college students are not, because mainly they're concentrating on getting loans and grants.
That's true.
And that's what they're concentrating. When my daughter was in college, she went to Incarnate Word. So why Incarnate Word? I could buy 2 houses in a truck. But she went there, and I found this app somebody told me about looking for scholarships.
Okay.
And she got 500 here, this there, this there, and she was doing it. She was working it, because a lot of people don't realize there's unclaimed money out there that nobody tell you about.
That is true.
And it's like, it's a secret. Like it's out there, but shh, don't tell nobody. We don't want to give it out. Yeah,
it's like that crab in the bucket mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like, if this person gets it, then I won't get it, or it's plenty of money out there.
There's plenty of money out there for that,
for sure.
right there. And these college students who Matter of fact, they ought to start planning when they're a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, and they should. And depending on some schools, you would think that the I don't know how it works now in high schools where they're getting, their students ready for college, but it seems like it's been completely revamped, right?
Mhm.
Where, you are hiring people to help your children like apply to colleges and loans and all of that.
Yeah.
That was totally different when I was coming up. So there are definitely resources out there, but you have to look at whether or not the family can afford those resources.
Now, one thing about that with college, they have counselors now
Yes.
that stays on you. What you gonna do?
Correct.
Well,
Which is really good.
What
Yeah.
you gonna do is that. But one thing I did find out, the athletic department, and I'm not getting on nobody's case. I'm just letting you know, some of the coaches get letters in that want this particular kid, and sometimes the coaches won't give it to that kid.
Wow.
I found that out years ago.
Wow.
If the coach don't like you for some reason, they won't share the letter with you. A school's looking at you with a full scholarship.
Wow.
I'm not saying all is bad, but we do have some coaches out there that will do that. In other words, some coaches will blackball you from going to college.
Wow.
With a full ride scholarship.
That's very unfortunate. Why do you think that is, though?
I can't figure it out. I don't know why, because everybody wants everybody to improve me better than what they were.
You should. So
if you get a kid in your high school that's going to a big college and all that, becomes successful, they're going to come back to their school. Prime example.
Yep, and give back.
Prime example, Shaquille O'Neal at Cole.
Okay. Yep.
He goes back to Cole and helped that athletic department, not just athletic department, but the whole school out. So he became famous doing what he's doing, and he's giving back.
Wow.
And that's what you want. You want people to give back where they came. Remember where you came from.
Exactly. Exactly.
You made it.
Yep.
Well, help out other people to make it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's doing that, you blocking the blessing. Blocking the blessing for that school, because that particular athlete, could have made it big.
Right.
And would have done just that. Gave back.
True. Now get back to finance. We sort of got off the road a little bit.
That's all right.
But we do things like that. So when you want to start somebody off, let's say retirement is 65, but they want to retire at 50.
Okay.
Let's say they want to retire at 50. They want a good nest egg built up at 50. Yeah. And they're 25 years old. What challenges is that for them to be close to a millionaire to retire?
I'd say one thing. That's actually not a big challenge at all if they're starting that early, right? First of all, I think having discipline and being, taking short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, right? Just having that mentality to do so. And I'd say definitely sitting down with a financial professional to help them with recommendations on where to put that money so that it will be working for them, right? Meaning it's going to grow at a pace where they can see it, say, double in their lifetime, right? Also double in their lifetime, and also be to where they want it to be at retirement years, right? And I often tell people about the rule of 72, right? And that's commonly known as the rule of compounded interest, right? And what that means is if you take the number 72 and you divide it by the rate of return, say that a bank is going to give you, or wherever you're putting your money to invest it, to make it grow, it will tell you how long it will take that particular amount of money to double in that situation, right? So say with a savings account, say a savings account is giving you 1% rate of return. You take 72 divided by 1, that's 72 years. That's how long it would take your money to double. So, right, so you want to look at options where you're putting your money in vehicles that are returning at higher rates of return, right? And you need to sit down with a financial professional to kind of, put that and diversify that for you. So,
well, back in the days, people were investing in mutual funds. Is it still good to this day?
I would say, yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with still investing in mutual funds. My personal recommendation would be just make sure you're diversified, right? Don't have all of your eggs in one basket, right?
Right.
Because we see the market and it goes up and it goes down, up and down, depending on where you are in your age, your journey. It also takes a factor of what is your risk tolerance, right? Are you a high risk taker? Are you moderate? Or are you low? Right? Those are kind of situations that a financial professional would ask you to determine and recommend where you should put your money. Right?
So if somebody do that, how much they need to start off with?
You know what? I would say, especially depending on the age, if you're in your 20s, even if you put back a minimum of like 150 a month constantly, and as you grow and in your career, your job, you're making more money. As you make more money, you should be saving more money, right? I say, live off of, for as long as you can, live off of that lowest salary, as if that's all you're making, right? And when you get a pay increase on your job, don't continue to live off of that lower salary for as long as you can, right? Because I know inflation, you got things happen, cost of living changes, right, rapidly. But I'd say continue to live off of that low salary, and when you get those increases, throw that into whatever you're saving for retirement, throw it in there, right? And over time, that money will be looking rather nice.
So,
right?
What do you think about getting started and you build up towards the emergency fund?
Yes, I definitely.
How many months do you have? Should you have emergency funds?
You should. We recommend that you have at least 3 to 6 months of emergency funds sitting in your savings account that's easily accessible to you when you need it for emergencies, right? Because you never know as far as unexpected expenses that'll come up, or you can lose your job, right?
Yeah.
And on average, if someone loses their job, on average, it takes about 5 to 6 months to find a new one, right? So if you have that lump sum of money for your income saved up for 6 months, then you could kind of rest assured that at least my bills are going to be paid while I am searching for a new job.
Now, these young couples out here right now, they want to live like the Joneses. They want what everybody else have. They want they get into debt real quick.
Yeah.
I can understand getting a house, 30-year mortgage. Completely understand that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to furnish their whole house right away to appease everybody.
Correct.
One room at a time. Well, maybe not one room at a time. My personal thought is definitely have your kitchen intact.
Yeah, your kitchen got to be intact because
and your bedroom.
Those are the main two.
Yeah. Other than that, you can work with getting living room set.
Exactly.
And all that. It's going to take time because most time you build up and save, you appreciate that more.
Yep.
If you go out and get everything on credit, you're going to appreciate it, but not the way of building it up and saving it.
Correct. Because you're getting into a lot of debt. And I think personally, some of the worst debt is these furniture company debts. The interest rate on these are astronomical.
It is.
Right. And they try to lure you in with, 12%, no interest. Okay. They know most people probably are going to go past 12% on a $7,000-8,000, furniture bill that they racked up to kind of, build up their home. But I agree. I'd say buying a home, I think that's a great thing. I mean, it's if that's for you, right?
Yeah.
But getting into debt, the cars, like, I think, to me, my opinion, purchasing a car is probably the absolute worst investment you can make, right? Because as soon as you drive, it depreciates immediately, right?
Yeah.
But I get it. But try to stay out of as much debt as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we went in about 12 years ago. The washer went out, so we went on, got a washer, the front loader, and all that stuff. It was 0 interest rate for a year. Well, as coming close to that year, we looked at each other, and out the wild blue, I get a bonus.
Look at God.
And I went on and paid
it. There
I'm
you go.
not paying no interest, nobody.
No. If you can prevent the interest, that's
we went on and we paid that off like it was nothing. And most time I tell everybody, when they do interest free, this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the interest is on there. They say, yeah, imagine the interest is on there. Turn around, put that to the side. Or double up on your payments.
Yep.
One or the other if you can. If not, put that interest to the side. You'd be surprised how that build up to pay that off in that year's time.
Yeah.
When it comes around the 11th month.
Very true.
And
no, that's a good idea, actually. Look at you. Look at your financial skills.
You know, that's how I look at it. That's just money just put to the side.
Yeah.
And what we talked about earlier when you said put $150 towards it. Well, my little theory about the change in the jar every day.
Yeah.
You put that every day, then cash it in at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And put that straight into your savings.
Exactly.
You never seen it, you're not gonna miss it.
No, not gonna miss it.
And it's just like young people, you need to listen. Quit getting into debt early.
Yes.
Because one thing it will do, it'll ruin a marriage.
Yes, I would definitely say that is 100% true. I mean, statistics even show that is like almost the number one reason why marriages end. It's finances.
Right. And my other opinion is this: have one person taking care of finances.
I agree with that as well.
You can't have two people. Y'all be fighting who's gonna do what. I was taking care of mine when I'm single parent. Met my wife right here. Oh, everything goes to her. I may get kibbles and bits because I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, we got everything paid for now. Everything's done. So we're just starting to have fun.
Yeah. Whoever is the most finance savvy, right? And the most, because it's great if both of you all are financially like responsible and you're, you're conscious about where you're putting your money but having that one person to kind of manage all that, I'd say is great, right? And having a budget, I think my husband and I, we actually have to sit down and do our budget every month just to, okay, this is where we are this month. This is our budget. This is our spending money. And once we go over the spending money, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is another issue that I've seen with clients that come in is where, they feel like they may need more money coming in, like increasing their cash flow, but when theoretically it's really the fact that you just don't have a budget.
There you go.
Right. And if you have one, you're not sticking to it.
What you're doing is you get paid, you live off that, and you wait for the next paycheck. And that's what we call living a paycheck.
Living paycheck, yeah. And having a budget can actually kind of derail you from living paycheck to paycheck, right? Yeah. Because you're actually, in actuality, you're telling your money where to go as opposed to your money telling you where it's going.
So what will be your thoughts with a couple coming in, both of them got a job, they're making 50 grand a year, both of them, I mean, together it's 100 grand. And you look at the 100 grand up there, I think my son told me this, being a mortgage, this is what you're making, this is what you got going out. You can't afford this house. Because they got more going out.
Yeah.
And you can't afford this house. Well, I make 100 grand a year, both of us together. I said, got 2 cars you're paying for.
Yeah.
You're not even in a house yet, but your credit card debt is high.
Yeah.
All the bills you paying, this is what you got left over. You can't afford a house.
Yeah, your debt to income ratio is too high.
Yeah. And then with not affording the house, you got to look at the insurance on the house, the utilities, the upkeep. All that goes into play, and a lot of people don't look at that.
Right, exactly.
They look at getting a house and boom. And a lot of people think they made it because they got a house, 2 cars, and they $500,000 in debt.
And guess what else they don't have?
What's that?
Life insurance, mortgage protection insurance.
There you go.
Any of that.
Thank you.
So what if one of those husband or wife unexpectedly passes away? What is that wife or husband left with after that happens?
The debt,
right? Which means a lot of people in this country are walking around uninsured, right? Their insurable need is if they're not meeting it.
So what's the importance for insurance? Let's say life insurance, mortgage, all that type of insurance. How important is that for the young people nowadays to make sure? Because the first thing they're gonna say, well, that costs this much money, that's what costs this money. That's what insurance is for, just in case.
Just in case. And the misconception, especially for young people, is that it's too expensive. Actually, in your 20s, the life insurance is the cheapest as possible because you're young, you're healthy. You get that life insurance rating locked in now while you're young, In 30 or so years, or 20, 30 years, when your health possibly may start decreasing.
Yeah.
If you wait till then to get your life insurance, then you're definitely going to be paying a lot more for insurance premiums, right? And again, like I said, a lot of people think that life insurance, one, is too expensive. They don't really understand the purposes of it, right?
Yeah.
I sat down with a client not too long ago, and she was in her, I think she's like 23, 24. She didn't really understand it, right? And so I kind of explained it to her. If you lock in some life insurance now, and she's married, and her premiums was less than $35 a month for 30 years to be covered at a very nice amount. I'm talking 250,000 plus of coverage for that sheet. And that's covering you for 30 years. That means you're ready to start a family, you're covered. You're ready to buy a home. If something was to happen to you and your wife has to, or your husband has to, be left with the debt of that home, that insurance policy would be basically paying off that home for your spouse.
Yeah.
Right. Not only that, life insurance also comes with living benefits, right? Where, if you obtain a policy and say 10, 20 years down the line, you become chronic or severely ill and can't work anymore. Well, you can become the actual beneficiary of your own policy at that point, where the insurance company will send you a check to take care of your living expenses while you're unable to work. Right. So there are a lot of reasons and purposes for insurances that people just don't know of.
Wow. So let's flip over to 401k.
Oh, my favorite topic.
Yeah, I know that because we talked about it, so I saved that.
I get real passionate about the 401k.
One thing I want to address is the 401k when you do it with your job. They usually match it. A person told me a while back that they quit your job and they got their 401k from them. Well, it wasn't what the company matched. The company refused to pay what they matched because they quit. Can they do that?
It's a scam.
Oh, there we go. See? And they tax the mess out of it.
They will tax it. Right. Not only are they taxing the mess out of what you contributed, but you also are on the hook for what the employer has matched as well. Right. So let's kind of take it back just a little bit to historical, right? And before, and the reason for the 401k. So the 401k essentially replaced pensions, right? Pensions went away basically because they became too expensive for the employers, right? The corporations to administer. It was just too expensive. And at that time, the corporations held all of the risks of that, right? So it became too expensive. Lo and behold, here comes the 401k. The purpose of the 401k was to transfer some of that risk that the corporations or the employer was having to transfer that risk to the employee. Right? So basically, I say, okay, I'm going to help you save towards your retirement in the form of the 401k. So I'm going to put back, the employee. Okay, employee, you go ahead and put back 5% of your pay into this 401k plan, and I'll match you 5%. Okay, that sounds good. You're thinking, okay, I'm getting free money. Okay, and theoretically, that sounds great, right? But the employer, the corporation, is getting a huge benefit from matching you. They're getting the tax benefit from that. They're getting tax write-offs to match you that money. At the end of the day, when you go to retire after the age of 59 and a half, you are then on the hook for paying taxes on what you've contributed and what the employer has contributed, right? So basically, to me, it's a blank check to the IRS at that point, right? Yeah. I say it's a blank check to the IRS because if we look at the debt that we have in this country, we're at trillions and trillions of amounts of debt. They're going to have to increase our taxes very soon in order to cover that debt, right? Yeah. So think of, okay, maybe 10, 15 years now, you're ready to retire, pull from your 401k. Taxes right now are 23, 26%. Well, it could be up to 50, 60% by the time you retire. So that's 50, 60% of your 401k going to the IRS. And what are you left with in retirement?
Well, see, they always talk about rolling over the money when you get it. Now, They won't tax you on that.
Right, exactly. When you roll it over, they won't tax you on rolling it over. No.
But eventually,
But you
won't
will
pay
be
it.
paying taxes when you take it out. Yes.
Man.
Yes.
So that's why you like 401k, right?
Look, I would never tell someone not to participate in a 401k. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it has its advantages. I just don't think you should put all of your eggs in one basket.
You should take
There
that
should be
5%,
other ways,
that 5% and moving it
in other areas, in vehicles that grow your money.
So
yes,
it's best off when you're young to start your portfolio early.
Yes, I would definitely say that's the best.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, I know I hit you up with that 401k.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides the 401k, what other retirement plans that's out there for the youth? Not mainly the youth, because anybody can get a retirement plan when they're 40 or 50.
Exactly.
You know, it's just how much money you want to put towards that plan so you be well to do when you decide to retire.
Well, I would just say, even for me personally, I'm saving for my daughter's retirement, and she's 6. Right. And I use an asset protected account that is backed by life insurance.
Okay.
Right. So her money, the money I contribute there, it not only does it cover her life is insured, but it's also accumulating wealth for her, so that when she gets to age, say 25, 26, and she's ready to buy her home, she has money right there for her to buy her home. Or, she take that account over and it's continue to save in it. And then that's her retirement plan account. Right.
All right.
And it's safe, it's protected, it's tax-free.
I like that. Say it again. It's
tax-free. The growth on that is tax-free. And when she goes to take it out, it's tax-free.
Which comes this other question. You seen any commercials where they say you can get money back from your insurance. So all you gotta do is this, and you get this money back. It's your money.
Right.
So there'd be somebody down below, kid. It's your money.
Get it now. What is that? I know what you mean.
Yeah, commercials been flying all. You always got older people up there come out. Now we're retired, so we need more money. Their annuity or something like that.
Is that the whole life or is that the annuity? I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's your money. Oh, I remember the commercial too. What are those insurance plans? Because obviously I don't know.
But they say you can get your money from your insurance, whatever it is. You can sell it.
Selling it sounds like it may be a whole life policy that has a cash accumulation or cash value. And
now, do they tax that?
No, anything that's basically has an insurance component attached to it. No, the IRS cannot touch that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go back to 401k because I'm a little baffled from that. They're gonna tax you, but you already was taxed when you got paid. Isn't that double tax?
So basically, they take the money out of your paycheck before you get taxed. Oh. Right. So it looks good, right? Because it's deferring your taxes. So it makes your paycheck a little bit bigger today, right? Because they've taken the money out before they tax you. So your taxable income is a little lower after they've taken out your 401k. So your check looks a little bigger right now, right? Yeah. But when you think about getting to retirement and what tax shields or tax deductions or write-offs that you can take in retirement versus what you can take now while you're young, meaning if you have kids, you can write your kids off, get a little bit from them. If you have a house, you can kind of get a little bit from the interest you pay on your house, right? But when you're in your 60s, 70s, and you're ready to retire, you don't have any of those tax shields, right? Your kids are grown. Your house is probably paid off. So you have nothing to shield you from taxes, right? So, of course, you're going to get taxed at an ordinary income rate when you get that money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's.
Okay, I got another question. What about when the dad tells the son, I'm leaving you this house in the will, and the son turned around, he's a little smart, said, no, Dad, don't do that. What you do is do a trust.
Trust, exactly.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
You do a trust. That way I won't be taxed.
Correct.
For all that. Yep. So what is the difference between willing to house somebody and in trust?
So basically I would say when you mentioned that too, it's definitely, especially when you start buying your life insurance policies, if you start setting, any accounts up to build wealth that is building money, you definitely need to do a will first and foremost, right? And then I'd say while you're sitting down with your attorney, putting your will together, that attorney needs to start putting you a trust together. Now, I'm not an attorney, right? So
Okay.
I can't speak too much on a trust per se, because that's not necessarily my area of expertise. But I do know I am in the process of myself of putting a trust together, right? But I would definitely say that a will and a trust should be top of the list of priorities.
Okay. Got another question for you.
Mhm.
I'm just loaded this morning,
I
y'all.
know, right?
She asked me what
He's
you
trying to
talk
make me an
about.
attorney, and I'm not.
Well, I just give
No,
your
I'm
opinion
just-
about it. I don't want you to be an attorney. What about this reverse mortgage?
my opinion of a reverse mortgage, especially what they're kind of targeting seniors to do.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have much experience with it. Just what I've read about it, it doesn't sound like the best situation to be in. I don't know enough, I'd say, to speak
Okay.
on it.
I just thought I'd bring it up because that's
What do you know about it? What have you heard about it other than just the commercials?
well, I talked to a few people who has it, and a lot of them say they're doing it because they didn't want the kids fighting over something.
Okay.
It goes back to the bank, and you get money. I think you get your what's that in it? Your equity
Okay.
in the house, and
Okay.
if the house is paid for, you don't owe nothing but your taxes every year. That's it.
Mm.
But this is where I'm at. If your house is paid for, they're gonna give you the equity out the house at no interest. It's your money.
So your house is paid for, and then you turn it back and selling it back to the bank?
Yeah, back to the bank.
Hmm.
For what I got. If anybody know anything different,
Yeah.
please let me know. Let me look on here.
Yeah, because if that's the case, if your house is paid for, you have kids, you don't want them fighting over it, then
Yeah,
that's the more reason you need to have a will.
there you
This
go.
is right. So you spell out exactly what you want to happen
Mhm.
upon your death with this house,
Yeah, I feel you. I
right?
feel
And
you.
that's also, I mean, and also not only that, but that helps build wealth, generational wealth. You're leaving a home that's already paid for to your heirs.
Yes.
That's a lot they can do with that home.
Some are greedy.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that's
some are
true.
greedy.
Yeah.
They care less. They want the money.
That's true. They want to just go ahead and
They
sell
want
it.
to sell it and take money. Who
Yeah.
cares about legacy
Yeah.
and stuff? Just
That's another issue that I
Yeah.
think people need to. That's probably a whole nother segment, right?
That is. I see we got Martha, Vashiro, Tucker, Rachel. And they're all signing on it. No questions? Oh, here it is. Which is better, whole life or term life?
I think all life insurances are great, right? I think they all serve its purpose, right? I would say whole life for me is great for a final expense plan, right? It does build cash value, but it's not building cash value at a rate that I'd say you can retire off of, right? Term life is one of the cheaper policies that you can get, but you can get a huge amount of coverage in term life, right? So I use term life for, say, a mortgage protection. So if I just bought a home, right, and I'm married, I have kids, I just bought a home, $400,000, right? I would want enough insurance, term insurance, to cover what I still owe on that home for 30 years, just in case something was to happen to me or my husband, right?
Right.
So you got to look at it as preparing for the unexpected, as far as term. But I would actually, if you could have both, I would have both.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
They come up with questions right here. Are CDs a good savings to get into for your grandbabies?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think definitely looking at the rate of return, right? I say, like I mentioned before earlier, I said, if you want to really know how much your money is going to double, and then use the rule of 72. So if you have a CD that, say, is giving you 5%, right? Take 72 divided by 5, which is what? My math is not mathing for me in my head. What's 72 divided by 5? Let's look that up.
You got your phone right
Yeah.
there. See, this is our savior sometimes. Sometimes it can be our worst enemy.
Yeah, I know, right? So it takes 14 years for that money to double. So if you get a CD, say you put what, $10,000 in that CD,
Yeah.
it's gonna take 14 years for that $10,000 to turn into $20,000.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not, I don't necessarily, I couldn't say no to CDs or yes to CDs. It depends on the personal situation, right?
Okay.
But just know how to calculate how long it will take for the money to grow to
Okay.
determine where you should put it.
So do that again. The 72.
72 divided by the percentage, the rate of return.
Okay.
So if you put it in a CD, if the CD is saying, I'm going to give you a rate of return of 5%, you take the number 72 and you divide it by 5. It'll tell you it will take 14 years
for that 10,000 to double to 20,000. Or go to Vegas and throw some crap and triple it.
Sometimes it's a crapshoot, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these banks, they're they're not giving the greatest returns, but
yeah,
this is the economy and this is the world we live in, right?
Oh,
that's why I say diversify, right? I say it's very, and that's why I always tell people, please sit down with a financial professional to help make these decisions.
I'm sitting down with one right now.
Yes,
y'all.
you are.
I'm sitting down with one right now. Martha said, look at my financial advisor.
Hey, Martha.
but you're right, because a lot of people, once they get money in their hands, like y'all said, it's burning a hole.
They burn a hole. Mm-hmm.
You got to spend it on what? What do you got to spend it on?
Exactly.
And then my rule of thumb is this: is it a need or a want?
Correct.
You need it because everybody have it,
right?
Or no? Well, let me put that right. Is it a want or a need? Is it a need because everybody else have it? Is it a want because you need it, really need it?
Right, exactly.
And my want is, yes, what I'm doing right now for the community and the station, all that stuff, this is a want. This is something I want to do.
Right.
It's not a need. Because when a need comes into play right there, you don't have no more money.
No, exactly. Hence why you need an emergency fund.
Yeah.
You need the 3, that's like I said, 3 to 6 months.
Emergency
fund in your account.
Yeah.
But that need. Yes.
Yeah. So while that emergency fund is in your account, you have easy access to it. What is another way of putting an emergency fund there, but yet having make more than 1% in the savings account that you can access real quick?
Well, they have high yield savings accounts, right? But again, it's the purpose of that is not for it to grow per se, right? Yeah. You want it to, of course, right? But the purpose of an emergency fund is just that, to be there in the case of emergencies. Okay. Right. So I wouldn't look at an emergency fund as, okay, I need to put it somewhere where, it needs to grow. It needs to be working for me, which you want it to, yes, right? But that is not the actual purpose of that account.
Now, just to let everybody know, emergency fund is for if you lose your job. Yes, something that's going on. It's not used for, I need to go out of town. This is an emergency.
Right.
Go party. That's not an emergency fund. That's play money.
Play money. And that's okay. Hey, you can even have a savings. Look, I always tell my clients, have multiple accounts for multiple reasons.
We have a vacation account.
Yep, there you go.
And that's it. We hit the vacation account, we go out, boom.
There you go.
And we're good.
Yep. Because anything can happen, right? Your car could break down, you need to get it fixed. That's hit your emergency fund account for that. Your refrigerator could go out.
Oh, that's definitely
what just happened to us 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's emergency.
Yeah. And I was like, well, thank God we have an emergency fund account, because thank God. Right?
I'm glad you brought that up. That freeze we had was in 21.
That was when we had just moved here.
Yeah, and the electricity wasn't there. And I was able to read the messages on there. They said, my refrigerator not working. All my food gonna spoil. God. I typed in real quick, put it in the garage. It's cold outside.
Very good point.
It's cold outside. Put it in the garage.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Well, doesn't that make sense?
True. No, it does make sense. It's cold, exactly.
But people nowadays, they don't use that critical thinking. There were so much people telling us what we should be doing instead of thinking what we should be doing.
Yeah.
It's cold outside, electricity out. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Well, do like I do. I went out and got a generator now, so I'm all set.
We got the same. My husband was like, never again. And actually, we haven't had to use the generator. It's still sitting in a box. So I said, well, can we take that back? That was like, that's almost $1,000.
Yeah. Here's a question right here. We're gonna make it one of our last questions. If you're able to pay cash for your home, is it a good idea to leave 20% on the loan to build your credit purpose?
Oh, I would definitely say yes. That's a good idea because you know, it depends on it depends on the person, right? Having good credit and showing that good payment history on a mortgage looks very good on your credit, for sure.
Okay. How did I jump up in here? It switched cameras.
What happened? We still not on?
Yeah, we're still on.
Oh,
It
okay.
switched on here, but we're still live right here. I looked at something else switched on me up there. So, but yeah, any closing thoughts that you want to share with everybody? First of all, you got a new phone number.
I did.
Yeah, see.
Right, and I wrote it down.
Yeah, did you write it down?
I did.
You want to tell everybody how to get a hold of you and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I am a financial professional, licensed financial professional, that I love to educate and provide solutions to whatever my clients' issues are, or to help them learn about money, save for retirement, save for their children's future education, etc. I do have a phone. I finally have a business phone.
Oh, right.
I'm no longer using my personal phone.
Okay.
No. And I can be reached at area code 726-234-6487. You could also follow me on Facebook at Mykisha Jordan McKay. That is how you reach me.
When I first heard about you, it was through Martha.
Yes.
And Ron, you need to talk to her. Martha, she gets so heated up. She gets all bubbly. I'm gonna text your phone number right now. And then she'll call back. Did you talk to her? Yeah, I talked. She be checking up on me.
No, I know, right.
Bless my heart. Yeah.
Yes.
So I did. We talked for a little bit. And then it was this young lady I did. Let's meet, let's talk in person. Because I think I told you I want to make sure the chemistry is there and everything. So we all sat down. My wife couldn't make it, but her husband was there. And I need to get him on the show too, because he's something else.
He is something else.
Yeah,
he would actually be a good one for you.
Yeah. So we talked, and then I went home later. I said, I'll let you know what time. So I went home and told you this was going to be. And then I said, I need to get a picture of you in your bio. Now, Martha, I'm going to tell you, she sent me a picture, and it was this small. It was this small. When I blew it up, you couldn't see who it was. So now I told her, can you send me a bigger picture? She sent me a picture. It covered the whole screen.
Did it?
Yeah, I went from this to this, but I was able to shrink that one down to look right. It was no problem. I'm just making fun of you.
I'm finance. I'm not IT. I'm not technical. I know how to turn it on, and that's it. Right?
You did good. I was just messing with you because Martha would tell you, I will mess with you.
And I like that though. That's good. That's good.
And then 2 weeks later, no, it was a week later. She sent all the information. I got it. We got her booked in, and everything looked out real well. I definitely want to follow up with you with another interview because I want to get into the 60s, people aging 60.
Oh yes,
because
the baby boomers.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of them are getting taken for stuff, and we need to advise them what to look out for because they're targeting the baby boomers.
That they are.
And
yes,
I'd like to get you on so we talk about that. But with summer really be coming to an end. Well, in Texas, some of them are coming into November, but that's when the vultures come out because they prey during the holiday season, and they take a lot of people for the money for the holiday season.
Yeah,
you get them weird phone calls saying your grandson is in jail in Mexico.
It's a lot of scams.
And some people are smart. They'll call the grandson. Oh, okay, hold on a second, sir. Call the police, get the phone call trace and all this stuff in. I don't know if they got busted or anything, but that's preying on.
That's preying, yeah.
That's preying on that stuff.
It is.
And then on the flip side, I want to talk about Generation Z.
Okay.
They are a trip. I'm just letting you know. This waitress did something about the difference between baby boomers and Generation Z. baby boomers will almost clean up the table a little bit, look
Mhm.
presentable. Generation Z, leave it all, everything laying down. And I said, that's how the house looked.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can definitely see a difference.
So we can
Yeah.
talk about both of those. We'll use half the time for that and that
Yeah,
time
let's
for
do that.
Generation
I
Z.
think that would make for a good conversation.
Because I mean, they are something else.
Oh my
Let's see if anybody
goodness.
else. Oh, she go, yes, yes, he will mess with you. Thank
And
you,
she
Mark.
already gave me that disclaimer when when she told me about you. She told me that he'll trip. He gonna mess with you now. Okay.
I hear her say that he tripped.
Yes.
And I said, Martha, that's that Chicago coming out.
Right.
That's what I tell her. Well, Mykisha, we appreciate you being on today.
Yes.
And you got your homework assignment for our next
I
show.
do.
'Cause
I'll be
I believe
ready.
you can find some stuff on that.
I'm
what's
quite
going
sure
on,
I
'cause
can.
we want to help everybody
Yeah,
out as
we do.
much as we can.
Yeah.
Especially the Black community.
Yeah.
We want to focus on them
Yeah.
and let them know, don't be taken.
No.
Because, I mean, our heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that take advantage of that.
Which is unfortunate.
And we want to stop that.
I agree.
We want to stop that.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right, young lady. We
All right.
appreciate you being on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on.
Bye.